Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this crucial, essential discussion on a topic that we may have known, we may have experienced, or maybe that resonates deeply with many of us. It's how to stop bullying at schools. Today we gather at a place where the shadows of bullying resonates largely within our educational institutions. First of all, I would like to introduce myself as today's host. My name is Denizli Ahmad, and I would like to welcome two speakers that are professionals in their fields, and of course, they will be presenting their views, their perspectives about today's topic. The first one, I would like to welcome Professor Marsa Atakia as the expert of education in Indonesia. Welcome, Professor Marsa. And I would like to welcome a very well-known psychologist in Indonesia, Muhammad Mufti Mumtaz. Again, welcome, Muhammad Mufti Mumtaz, to our discussion today. So, without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Mufti first. Later on, I would like to let Professor Marsa to also share maybe a counter argument, maybe not. We will discuss a lot about bullying today. So, Mr. Mufti, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Mr. Delivery, for the opportunity. I guess we are here today to talk about how to stop bullying at school, because apparently bullying is very rampant at schools. That recent studies has revealed that one out of the three students experience being bullied, or that's revealed that one out of the three students experience being bullied or confessing to being the victim. And they say that the measures have been taken, but apparently the bullying still remains. So I'm probably going to start with talking about understanding the bullying types to uh, keep all of us up to speed about what is bullying. Uh, um, as we know that bullying nowadays is in a form of physical bullying, but there are also verbal and relational and even cyberbullying nowadays. And in order to effectively end which one of these types of bullying that our students is experiencing, and after that we can move on to how we're going to tackle the methods and steps that we can take in order to uh, defeat the issue, you know. But I'm here as a psychologist, and I really need some background on what is it that it is said that measures have been taken, uh, but I don't know what the measures that have been taken. So can I get some information on that? Something.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Mufti is asking what measures have been taken. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I let Professor Marsa answer that question, please.
Right. Of course, in order of us to actually take a step, take a move on um, doing prevention on bullying, on to handling, or like what Mr. Mufti said before, to tackle bullying, we need to know whether we already do some programs, for example, in education. And yes, indeed, we had a program called Roots. It's actually a program um, collaboration with UNICEF Indonesia between Indonesian government, Indonesian educators, and it also involves some experts, psychologists. Of course, I wonder why you didn't know that. But anyway, so this Roots program is a 7-step program, which basically the first thing you do in Roots is you do a survey. You see what is the cause of bullying, because cause of bullying is different in each context. By that I mean the schools and area, it's very different, and there's so many various aspects behind this, and that's why we do some survey first, and then after that we chose the we call it in Indonesia, we call it Agen Perubahan, which are the students who are being selected by the student itself. They are basically, these are the students that they feel comfortable with talking to, that they see the one is that is approachable, and these students are then by the teachers and by this what is it, the teachers and the UNICEF party, they basically they do some, what is it in Indonesia, it's called pelatihan. I'm not sure what it is, I'm getting blank, but that's what they do. And then after that let see. Okay, there are 15 meetings on these courses on training them in preventing bullying, because apparently this Roots program, they focus on the bystanders. Bystanders are the one of the 3 parties involved in bullying. The first one is the one who's getting bullied, and then the one who bullied, and bystanders. And they perceive that bystanders is the one who had a really great position in preventing bullying. That's why they trained this Agen Perubahan to prevent bullying and to tackle bullying. And also one of the other programs held by the government is that we need to make the school itself a safe place for the students. That's why rappers between teachers and students are important, and that's the one who's being built in schools, and that, you know, to make the students feel comfortable, to feel safe when they are getting bullied, for example, physically or through online, and they're feeling comfortable in sharing that to the school party so they can take action into that. And so that's one of the measures that have been done by the schools and the government, Mr. Mufti.
I see. So there are various programs that is that is involving the school, the government, the teachers, even the students themselves. But I think that that is all good. But at the end of the day, we need to. I think that the involvement of the I agree that we need to make a school. We need to make schools a safe place for those that may have been bullied or perhaps doing the bullying.
Mm-hmm.
No, really, but yeah. Uh, so when we talk bullying, we need to understand that some of the victims are sometimes scared or not willing to talk about the fact that they are getting bullied, due to the fact that most of the time it what happens after they tell their students or their school about the fact that they're getting bullied is yeah, the perpetrator might receive some, but usually it's not something that is permanent. It's just that they might be getting like banned from school for a certain period of time. After that, the bullying only getting stronger or more or worse for the victim. So that I think that yeah, the program needs to focus on the consequence with discuss the implementation of the consistent consequences for bullying incidents because ultimately we need to make sure that the perpetrator or the one who is bullying is, I think in Indonesian we say that we need to menanam efek jera to the perpetrator. And other than that, we need other than that the program is very well planned. I think because it covers a lot of points and a lot of areas. It covers a lot of areas such as like as Professor Marsa have said, uh, it covers peer intervention programs and also even the government is taking actions and then
Yep.
the whole ordeal. And yeah, I think my bottom line is we need to not only focus on the perpetrator, but we also need to focus on those who are getting bullied because with a grand program like this, it will not change anything if the bullied are staying silent or yeah, or if the others the peer of that victim is not doing anything to ra- um to help or they're just staying in the sidelines.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that the we need to focus more on nowadays. I think we need to focus more on the victim rather than just focusing on trying to reshape the only focusing on reshaping the perpetrator, I think.
Yeah, thank you for the views, the first section of the views from both guests today. It was a very insightful perspectives that we had. But don't worry, dear audiences, we still have hours to go talking about this massive topic about bullying because in Indonesia, maybe in our lives, we have seen or we may have experienced. I myself, I might or might not. When I recall what Mr. Mufti said that some of the bullied in Indonesia cannot freely speak up. I think I might have got bullied, but I was too scared to tell my parents or my peers, my teachers to tell that I was getting bullied. So it was very interesting to know that this is an actual phenomenon. This is a real phenomenon here in our environment. So again, I would like to re-highlight the bottom line of what Mr. Mufti said. The programs that Professor Marsa have said, or maybe any other programs that was not mentioned, those programs will not have massive impact if the bullied cannot freely speak up. So, Mr. Mufti said we have to focus more on the
But
perpetrator and I have to say, the one who is bullying. So, what's your thought on this, Professor Marsa?
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, but I didn't catch the last line.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mufti said all the programs will not be that effective if
Mm-hmm.
the bullied cannot freely speak up.
Yep.
And yeah, how do you came up with solutions to this?
Yeah, so thank you. That's very interesting take. And thank you, Mr. Mufti, for bringing this up. Because there are actually more into this program. And the last, because if we go dive deeper into this, there are three keywords in bullying. The first one being intent, the second one being repetition, and power, imbalance in power. Sorry, is my voice clear?
To me, yeah, you're
Okay,
clear enough. Okay.
all right. And so this bullying wider is not just about, you know, we solve one thing and then bullying will be gone. No, it's deeper than that. And there are so many other parties involved in this, including the parents, including the teachers, including even the students itself, the peer, as we may mention before. They need to be aware first. They will then need to be aware of what is bullying and the consequences of their behavior, like Mr. Mufti said before. And but again, this brings us to, again, education. That is why education is very important, and bullying it is in our education. It is in not bullying, but the prevention of bullying is in our education. In our education is, and in our in learning activities. Of course, they're not only being teach the to improve their cognitive levels, but also they're effective that being gotong royong. For example, in Curriculum Merdeka, there's gotong royong and other social take into the curriculum itself. And yes, some of the victims and some of them who witness bullying, there can't, in a way, to express how they feel, express that, yes, I'm the victim. This happened to me. And maybe there's some other factors that first, maybe they're afraid if they speak to someone, if they tell that they're being bullied, the one who bullies will be like, okay, I think he tells teachers about this. I think he tells the professor about this. And there will be, like you said before, it will getting worse. But in the case confidentiality, and okay, so you're the psychologist here, so I'm sure you're more aware of this. But in schools, there's this bimbingan on counseling, and basically, this is when the teachers or the students are in to speak freely, and we give them this space. And evidently, if I talk based on the experiences I had, for example, and this is quite effective, actually. And maybe if you're scared, this can be seen from the psychology itself, the being scared and not being, wait a moment. Okay. And then maybe they're not feeling safe, maybe they're not feeling scared. The teachers, they need to be aware, they need to tell them that it's okay. It's okay to speak your stories. It's okay to speak up. This is a safe place for you. And again, socializing in school is very important. Telling students preventions, everything tagline. Maybe it's kind of cliche, like, oh, it doesn't really help, but it does. It helps. Socializing, telling the students, educating the people in school context and settings. It does make change. There is a report here done in, wait a moment, in by Jufonen. She's a professor of psychology, and she talks about how bullying and low academic achievement are frequently linked, and then she reviews summarizes of 100 studies with the largest number of being schools in high schools and middle schools. And anti-bullying programs were actually effective in reducing bullying outcomes by roughly 18 to 19% and bullying victimization by roughly 15 to 16%. So we can see, even though this is not 100% effective, like 100% of bullying in the world gone, not that way, but it is a progress. 16%, 18% is still a progress, and we're making into that, and we're going, moving on and actually making improvements. So to say that these programs are not effective is evidently untrue. And so maybe we can do some more research into that, or maybe you have some information about this, then tell us there.
Okay, so it was a very nice thing to listen to what you have told us, that the anti-bullying program is, even though it's not an 100% fix, but there's a significant and there's a significant decline of the rate of bullying that a few 17, 18%, I think you have
18 to 19%.
18 to 19%. So yeah, that is a very nice thing to hear. But regarding what I have said earlier, I think that I heavily relied my answer based on what I have experienced back in the day, and also what I have heard from some of my friends who are bullied back in the day. But but I guess that it may seem that my information or my current understanding of the program I think it has gone irrelevant, perhaps. But it is very nice to hear that the bullying program nowadays is it's way more effective than what it was back then when I was in school. So I think from where we are right now, I think we can only go up from here. So yeah, I think that by keep improving and also covering more grounds than what we have already covered is a good way for us to enforce the anti-bullying program even more than what we have already done up to this point. And it is a very goodness for us, the parents perhaps, and also those teachers of the faculty, the schools, and also the of the kids, and also ultimately the students themselves, that they having any problem regarding bullying as much as how we back then experienced it. And I think that me as a psychologist, what I can say to you, the professor of education, I think is that I thank you, and I think that what you are doing is very good for all of us, and I hope that in the future, as I think that I also have one more thing that I want to say. I think that, as we know nowadays, there's a type of bullying that is called cyberbullying. I think that, and that is not something that is common or something to be heard of back then, like 20, 30 years ago.
Mhm.
So I think that with the advancement of time and also technology and also everything else that is going on in the world, there is most likely to be perhaps another form of bullying or another media that can be used to bully other people or
Mhm.
something that may not seem like a bullying, but it ultimately is actually bullying. So I think that what we can do from here is that we can try our best to improve the programs that we have already implementing right now, and also paying attention to the world, I guess, so that for instances where there are new advancements in technology that may or may perhaps be misused and end up being used to be a media of bullying, we can take action to prevent such thing from happening. And yeah, I believe that ultimately it is very nice to hear that the program is getting better and better. And yeah,
Okay.
I think
Okay,
I
okay.
will give it back to the
Alright.
host today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mufti. Thank you, Professor Marsa. And now I would like to move on to the uh, question and answer session. And also, I would like to add, this is not only a Q&A session. I would like to invite the audience maybe to share their experience, share their observations. Also, you may ask question to one of our expert or both of our experts. So, yeah, the sessions is open. Anyone from the audience chair would like to ask, would like to share their observation, maybe experience? Anyone? Oh, like I see a hand there, namely Mr. Arya. Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Denizli. Wait a second. Okay, I want to ask question to I think both of our experts here. Like back in my school days, we have counseling, counselor, BK, whatever is that. Okay, and I think they were not really helpful for students, especially for the victim of bullying, because when like one of my friends talked to them about their experience, their bad experience, um they are not given any solutions. They was just um, like victim blaming or something like that. So it is not really helpful, and it just make the condition of my friends worse and something like that. So how could these new programs help students if the the experts that is in the field are not really helpful like that?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Arya.
Thank you.
I think it's related to the program, yeah? So maybe Professor Marsa would like to go first.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I would like to answer Arya's question. Thank you very much for um oh Professor sorry, I mean Mr. Murthy, you want to add something first? I saw you raise your hand.
Oh no, actually we
Oh
can go. But
okay, thank you.